Να ρωτήσω κάτι. Ακούγεται και μικρόφωνο και τα λοιπά. Θέλετε μικρόφωνο.
Δώσω ακόμα έτσι. Ένα, 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 δύο, μικρόφωνο, μικρόφωνο. Test, 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 test. Test. It will not hold like this. وين كنانة؟ وين كنانة؟ تعالي. Test, test, test. No, no, down, down, down. That's it. Test, test. تعالي كنانة. شوفي لي ارتفاع. لحظة تسوي
من هون 1 2 3 لا لسه انزل صح كمان 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 هذا اخر شيء بينزل هيك النتفة او هيك هيك بيتحرك هيك ايوه تماما هذا يطلع لفوق هيك كمان شوي كمان شوي لا انزل شوي Okay. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone. Okay. Yeah. Good. انت شو اللي عملت؟ حاضر عيوني هذا فورا جايبه لا شكرا تمام. تيست تيست. السلام عليكم مرحبا سامعني؟ good.
Καλημέρα σας. Καλημέρα κυρίες και κύριοι, αξιότιμοι Σέιχα Μποντουράλ Κασίμη, αξιότιμη κύριε Πρέσβη, κύριε Πρόεδρε, γεια σας. Σας καλωσορίζουμε σήμερα εδώ στην εναρκτήρια εκδήλωση του Publish Here, που έχουμε τη χαρά να τους φιλοξενούμε φέτος, την 20η Διεθνή Έκθεση Βιβλίου Θεσσαλονίκης, και με περίπτερο, που και αυτό είναι πολύ σημαντικό και σας προτρέπω να το επισκεφθείτε, γιατί παρουσιάζει μια πολύ ωραία συλλογή από βιβλία, παιδικά βιβλία για γυναίκες, που μιλάει για γυναίκες, είναι γραμμένα για γυναίκες και αναδεικνύουν την δυναμική των γυναικών στο χώρο του βιβλίου. Και βεβαίως για να συναντήσετε την ομάδα του Publish Here. I think you need some headphones, because we have many Greek people here, so I decided to speak in Greek. Sorry.
Please get equipped with your headphones, because I will speak in Greek. So let us wait for a couple of minutes so that everyone gets equipped with the headphones. If you need the English translation.
Επανέρχομαι λοιπόν.
So I repeat once again, we have the pleasure and honor to host today the 20th International Book Fair of Thessaloniki, Publish Here, an initiative and network, an international networking forum that was initiated and founded by Bodur Al-Qasimi and has united the voices and actions of women operating in the book industry from all countries of the world. This is a network that carries out events, activities in various forms at international book fairs, and not only. This is a network that consults, enhances, and unites women, and above all, the most important, I could say, because last year I was invited also to participate in a panel at the Bologna Book Fair, and there I realized and I discovered how important it is for us to sit in a panel and all women from the book industry, discussing together, irrespective of what country we've come from, irrespective of religion, irrespective of culture. There are differences, but there are similarities, and when these are discussed openly through the exchange of ideas, of viewpoints, of experiences, and through the common will and willingness to find solutions, things improve and we move forward. Also, I would like to say that I'm really glad that we have men in this panel. It is very important for males to listen to what females have to say, because last year in Bologna there wasn't even one man in the audience, but today I see that there are a lot of men in our audience, and I'm really glad about that. This is so important. Now I'd like to give the floor to our dearest Bodur Al-Qasimi, the founder of Publish Her, to take the floor. Dear Bodur Al-Qasimi, please have the floor and say a few words about this initiative.
Welcome to another Publish Her event here at the Thessaloniki International Book Fair. I just want to start by thanking Nopi for all of her support in making this possible. It takes a lot of effort and work to put these events together, and there are a lot of people working behind the scenes to make it happen. But I especially want to give a thanks to you, Nopi, for bringing Publish Her here to Greece and specifically to Thessaloniki. Thank you for that. Some of you may already be familiar with the incredible journey of Publish Her, while some of you might not know much about Publish Her. So let me start by sharing our story. In a way, Publish Her's journey reflects the journey and challenges faced by many female publishers in the industry that still remains imbalanced at both the top and the foundation of its global culture. Publish Her began with a simple conversation that sparked multiple discussions and eventually led to our inaugural event in 2019. Just like the journey of female publishers, we've been tirelessly working to break the mold and change mindsets. I'm pleased to say that over the past 5 years, we have made progress, but not to the extent that we desire or hope. Generally, the status quo is stubborn, making change an often unwelcome endeavor. But the change in our industry isn't just a lofty aspiration or an option add-on. It's a necessity. The publishing world is a vibrant mosaic, rich with stories of women who help shape many of these narratives, and often they don't get to the lead or to the top positions. This isn't just about inequality. It's about a missed opportunity that is hurting our industry. It's as simple as that. Diversity is not about merely ticking a box. Diversity unlocks the full potential of human creativity. Whenever anyone has a seat at the table, the narratives we create are richer. Our decisions are more balanced and innovative. It's essential for producing work that truly reflects the diversity of our global audience. To celebrate the diverse voices of women publishers, we proudly introduced the Publish Her Excellence Awards in Bologna. At an inspiring event in April, we celebrated the winners of the inaugural editions of these awards, and it was on the sidelines of the Bologna International Book Fair. Our hope is that by celebrating these remarkable women, we're paving the way for young female publishers to travel the same road, reach for excellence, and make their voices heard. As we continue this journey, we carry the legacy of these trailblazers with pride and responsibility. We envision a future where women in publishing are not just participants, but leaders, shaping the narratives that define our societies. Today, our panel discussions will delve deeper into these issues, each conversation a stepping stone towards inclusive and equitable industry we aspire to create. Together, we are reshaping an industry, one conversation at a time. Thank you for joining us today on this transformative journey.
Πολύ ωραία. Ευχαριστώ.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bodur Al-Qasimi. Now we have realized, all of us have realized what this is going to be about. I will ask for female publishers from Greece and from the United Arab Emirates to join the panel so that we have a discussion to listen to them what it is like being a woman, the female leader of a publishing house, something that it is not that common worldwide. So, my dear ladies, my dear friends, please join the panel. Mrs. Stella Kazdagli will be the moderator.
Introduce you to our audience. I will speak in English, but if you need interpretation, please don't hesitate to ask for headphones. So, my name is Stella Kazdagli. I'm the co-founder of Women on Top, and I'm also a writer. I'm really honored to have with me today. Sorry, I have my notes here so that I don't forget or misspell anyone. So we have with us Mrs. Amira Albin Kadra. Am I saying that correctly? Great. Who is the Vice President of at Emirates Publishers Association. Thank you for being here with us. We have Mrs. Fatma Al-Khatib. Did I say that correctly? Great. Who is the owner of Atsidra Publishing, publisher and EPA board member. And from the Greek side, we have with us Eva Karaitidi, who is the publisher at Estia Publishers and Booksellers in Greece. And also Mrs. Anni Raya, sorry about that, who is a publisher at Melissa Publishing House, again in Greece. So thank you for being here with us. And I would like to start by asking you, and you can answer in any language that you want. I hope I will understand it. Why is this discussion important, and why is this initiative, Publish Here, important? If anybody in the audience here does not have a clear picture of the issue of this glass ceiling in publishing, how would you describe it to them? What's the issue here? And who would like to start? Maybe, yes, of course, please.
Thank you for having us today. I would like to start by saying it's very important to be here. It's very important that people know the existence of women publishers in the UAE and in the Arab world in general. This is, Sheikha Bodur started this. She was one of the most prominent female publishers in the Arab world. And we're taking, me and Fatma and other UAE publishers and female publishers, we're taking the same path she took and she paved for us. For the world to know our existence is important to get support also. For people to believe in us at the same time. We always start small and we become bigger and bigger the more we participate in such events.
Great, thank you so much.
Hello, thank you for having us. As Amira said, we come from a country where our leader in publishing is Sheikha Bodur, and she's a female. She paved the way for us, and she made it look so easy, although we know it's not that easy, it's very hard, but it's very important for people to hear our voices as female publishers from the UAE or from around the world. It's very important that we show our culture, we show that we exist. We are here, and they should hear us instead of having someone else speak for us instead of us. Yeah.
I want to keep this phrase to show people that we exist, and I'd like to ask the Greek publishers, is it the same in Greece? I mean, is the issue to show that you exist? How are things here?
Εγώ θα μου επιτρέψετε να μιλήσω ελληνικά.
Allow me to speak in Greek. Before answering your questions, I would like to warmly thank Mrs. Boudour Al-Ghazimi. We have known her for a number of years. We have been admiring the work she has been doing, not only in her country, but in the entire third world, with regard to female authors and publishers. In order to answer your question, I would like to say that in Greece, it is quite common for women to be leaders in the publishing community. After the 70s, 80s, there have been, since the 70s, a great number of women, and many of these women, among them the two of us, have inherited what had been done before. So it is not a rare phenomenon, but with all this that is happening all over the world, and the awareness we have been acquiring, we know that it is not that simple. Having a woman leading sectors that have been traditionally being led by males is not something easy. Females have different perspectives, have different viewpoints, different mindset, and this is what is so important. Mrs. Raya, good morning. I will speak in English as well. This initiative is also very important and innovative for us as well. We started 3 years ago here in Thessaloniki, but even further within the pandemic period, and this year with the initiative of Mrs. Boudour Al-Ghazimi, this event has been organized, and we see that this initiative has been taking place in other events all over the world. So the presence of a female publisher is not only in book events in Greece, but all over the world. In Greece, as Mrs. Karaitidi said, I have never felt that because I am a woman, I cannot make it. But we started at our early childhood. It is different from starting at an advanced adulthood, and it is different when starting from infancy in a family enterprise. And over time, we realize what this means. We have realized that it was a traditionally inherited male sector, so we participated in various associations. We became presidents, vice presidents. We were helped by males, I should say. And I believe that we are in a very good position right now. As women, we have a completely different mindset and viewpoint and perspective from men. And we also serve as facilitators to males for the resolution of problems. Thank you so much.
The men on the panel complained that women have a very complicated way of thinking, and that creates a problem for them as leaders. When they are surrounded by too many women, things get really complicated. So from this approach, this point of view, or some other point of view that you would like to choose, what are the different perspectives that women bring or do not bring? I don't know if the reason, the fact that we are women means that we necessarily bring different perspectives. Let's discuss this. But what are these different perspectives, if they exist, and what kind of change can they bring in the publishing industry?
Any one of you would like to start? I've noticed something in general in women. They pay attention to details. We notice everything, even the book covers, everything. In the publishing world, we pay attention to. We don't let things pass by. Mm-hmm. And also, in a way, we have a long-term vision. When you choose a book to be published, you think of its long-term effect. I think it's natural because we are mothers and we always think ahead for our sake, for our kids' sake, and for our grandchildren's sake. So we would like to leave a mark because you're in control, you're the publisher, you're not the buyer anymore. You're not the one just going through shelves and getting the book and that's it. No, you're making a difference. You're leaving your print in the literature world. So maybe this is the difference between us and men.
Great, thank you. Fatma?
I think women like normally would think different than men. They have a different point of view, different perspective. And something that, I'm sorry for all men, but I think they all lack is multitasking. Us as women, we can do everything at once. And as Amira said, we put so much attention on very small details that men might not. And also, I think for all businesses, women are maybe more emotionally intelligent than men. So even that creates she can help their colleagues, she can help their workers, people who are working with them, which creates more friendly environment to the colleagues. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Εγώ δεν θα το ξεχώριζα.
I would not differentiate it so much. I think it's a matter of mentality, of mindset. It is exactly what has been already described. This is a fact, the different mindset, but I wouldn't say that all males are stuck to violent mentality. Many of them are still stuck to this violent mentality, and we need to eliminate this for sure. I also would say that the behavior of women are more altruistic and more empathic. So there is more empathy and more altruism among females. But this doesn't mean that there aren't exceptions, and there are males that are altruistic and empathic. I don't have kids myself, but I have been teaching kids, which is very important to teach empathy, inclusion, and respect to diversity. So the whole educational system can play a major role, and our contribution as female publishers helps us a lot to contribute to this cultivation of empathy, because the patriarchic world in the past said, this is the world, this is a women's position, everything is very well, we are offering everything to you, so you should be satisfied. But we see how things have changed, this mentality, and there are different circumstances. Thank you very much. I keep a word. You said to teach, to educate, so it's not necessarily, the skills are not a matter of biology and DNA, but it is a matter of how we have been brought up, educated, raised. I would also like to add to what Mrs. Karaitidis said. I believe that women in general try even more and are doing their best more. They are struggling because it is believed that males can be more easily successful. So we do our best with great passion to convince people that this is not true. Females can achieve everything. Nothing is impossible for their women can be successful. And we have proven that we can combine everything in a very successful way, not only in the publishing sector, of course, but in all different sectors.
There was a terrible snowstorm in New York and Washington, D.C., and in the next day in the U.S. Senate, there were only female senators present. The male senators had not turned up because of the bad weather. And people said, why did female senators decided that it was important that they go amongst all the catastrophe and the disaster? And I think it's because they feel they have to try harder to prove that they deserve the position they are in. Oh, thank you. Do you think that the existence of women leaders in publishing favors diversity and inclusion in the publishing industry in general? And as a writer, I would like to extend this to female writers as well. Do you think that female publishers have more, is it more likely for them to promote female writers? What has your experience been?
I think so. Women believe in women, and they understand their perspective. And they understand, whenever they write poetry or a novel or anything, they understand where they are coming from. And maybe that's why, as publishers, we tend to give more chances to our female writers. I'm a writer myself before I was a publisher. So I know what a female writer goes through before she gets the chance to publish her book. And in Ghaf, we are 3 ladies. We are, 2 of us are writers. So you cannot imagine the willingness we have to support other women. We want to make it easy for them. We want their voices to be heard. We've published to a few female poets who are amazing, and we are proud that we were able to publish their poetry and make their voices heard and noticeable. So yes, I support female writers, and I will continue to do that.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk here from my own experience and from my, whatever I am doing in Sidra Publishing. I am working with several female translators. I also have a full team of editors, actually all females. I don't have men editors. I'm also trying to find female writers, and mostly Emirati writers. I have met a lady, actually she's Russian in the UAE, and I've met her in a bookstore, and she told me that her daughter speaks Russian and Emirati, and her daughter is a writer. So I'm trying to push that girl to be a translator, because we don't have Emirati translator from Russian. So I think, yeah, women we are actually supporting each other, and we should be supporting each other.
Great, thank you so much.
I come from a very old publishing house, so we have a big tradition with male authors. And my mother initiated me to literature, and we love good literature. We never differentiated between male and female literature. And I told you that this is what I was taught by my mom. And gradually, I agree that I am very sensitive to specific issues that may leave men indifferent. And also there is a very subtle point in the publishing industry, the economic issue. That is, how do you select one male or female author? If you focus a lot on the content, then you should say, yes, I may not make profit, financial profit, but I want to promote somebody. So I should say that during the last year, I have become highly sensitive to this issue, and the books published worldwide are much, much more. So I would like to listen to suggestions from my female colleagues, suggestions both for women and men, for male and female authors. So I look forward to listening to proposals and suggestions from you. That's why I'm here, actually. We don't deal with literary works. We have books of architecture, of arts, and there was never a differentiation between male and female authors. But since the academics used to be more males, women joined at a second stage. So yes, in the past, males were more, but nowadays the female percentage is higher in academic institutes and in the publishing sector. So in our publishing house, 70% are female employees and 30% male employees. I don't know what happens in other countries, but things have radically changed with regard to the male-female ratio.
So, can you identify any good practices that you have implemented or other female-led publishing houses have implemented to challenge those norms and those stereotypes, to start changing things for the better? And if you can identify one or two things that you would like to see changing in your countries, in the publishing industry, with respect to gender equality and female publishers, what would that be? How would you go about it?
Personally, in GAF, me and my two partners, we really try to represent Emirati women who are trustworthy in this business. We want men and the world to know how smart we are, how trustworthy we are, how responsible we are. The weight of carrying the Emirati literature and the Arab literature in general to the world is not light at all. And for you to be yourself, represent your country and the Arab literature to the world, it takes a lot. You have to let people know how smart you are and how you're taking the responsibility of publishing seriously. It's not a business that I want to take for a few years, make a profit and retire. No, this is, we really hope, God's willing, to continue through the years. And we want to pass this to other responsible women. And so, like I said, being a good representative of your country, of your culture, of your literature is the most important thing we have taken as a responsibility in GAF.
Well done.
Thank you.
Just to be clear, we don't compromise the content. Like I will not choose a content of a female over a male's content, but as Sheikh Badur said, it's not about inequality, but it's about giving them both the same chances. And there is a misconception about women in general in the Middle East or in the Arab world that we are oppressed or we don't have a voice, which isn't the case in most of the countries, especially in our country, in the United Arab Emirates. We came from a country that empowers women from the beginning of the establishment of the country. We have been empowered. We were pushed to learn. We were pushed to have voices. We were pushed to even being like in all businesses, in all factors of the country. So I think this is a misconception that needs to be changed by now. And I don't think we're facing a lot of problems as women in the publishing industry. It's just a very new concept to people. It's not about like being unequal to men or something like that.
That's great. Thank you.
I will use the Nemo's break the code, so I don't think things are so rosy. I remember very well, and I realize more and more male behaviors that were so insulting to women that today are not that expressed, but it still is there. And also what has been pointed out by Annie, I think, is that we have to make multiplied efforts than males. We have to try harder to convince about things that males would need to try so hard. So we have to convince people because in many countries still the power is to men, and countries where women don't seek become leaders because they don't want the competition of this time, not because they cannot manage this. And we see this in associations, in unions, and correct me if I am wrong. There are such remarkable women, and very few of them want to take high positions. So there is this group of women as well who could become leaders, but they don't want to. I will start first about what I would like to be improved in my country. The first thing that we should do has to do with libraries. Libraries without readers or without young people who love reading can be achieved through the educational system. And the educational system with regard to this aspect in Greece has to be improved. And if we do not improve this, the future of libraries won't be rosy. Also, teachers should teach kids to love reading. According to scientific data, it is proven that it is during the first school years that this cultivation of reading culture should start. So children from the very, very first school years have to learn to read, to learn to discuss. With regard to the profit issue, profit in the publishing sector in Greece, at least, there is a huge problem during the last years with regard to the financial issue of publishing industries. That is, the profit that used to exist in the past years is not there anymore. There is a great reduction of financial profit, and we see that although we do try hard with fewer resources, with fewer people, again it is the woman that plays a major role because she is more multitasking. You can tell a woman, go to the library, do tasks there, and then come back and do something else. She does so many different things, different tasks. With regard to women in trade unions, things in Greece are very hard. Those of us who have survived, I was the first president in Poeva, and I entered there for 7 years. And I had to quit then because I wanted to do my publishing work optimally. Indeed, there are males who help a lot, who are there to discuss and listen to us, but in general terms, it is very hard for women in trade unions, and this should change. For sure. Thank you so much.
To open up, do you have anything to add? Θέλετε κάτι να προσθέσετε? Ωραία. If you agree, I would like to open up questions to the audience, and then I will get back to you with one final question. Αν έχετε εσείς ερωτήσεις, τις οποίες μπορείτε να τις κάνετε στα ελληνικά ή στα αγγλικά.
Do you have any questions to the panelists? As regards to what has been said or has not been said yet. Yes, please.
I believe that women are mostly the readers of what is produced by you publishers. Is that something you take into account when you select a book to publish?
Thank you. Who would like to answer? Yeah.
As I mentioned before I became a publisher, I was a reader, then a writer, then a publisher. So I was in all those chairs. So in publishing, you do consider the reader. I don't consider profit is important, but the reader is most important person because he's my target. So that's why readers come first, in my opinion. I have to publish the book that it will make them happy, enriched, knowledgeable, and they close the book and open it again and again. When somebody comes to you and said, "I've read this book 3, 4, 5 times," it means you've succeeded. It's like you sold your book 5 times. If they read it 5 times, even if they owned it once, but for you, the value is more than the money you got from publishing this book. But as a reader, I always consider the reader first before anything, not the profit, nothing else.
Thank you. Anyone else who wants to?
As a publishing house who's specialized in translations, I have to also take in consideration the cultural differences, and whatever I translate, is it appropriate in my country for readers to have? So as Amira said, the reader comes first. We have to focus on what the readers want and what's culturally appropriate for the readers.
Thank you.
Και εγώ θα ήθελα να θυμίσω
I would like to remind that here we are four publishers, but above all, we are readers. Okay, all authors used to be readers before, as already said, but we should remember that they're a publishing house led by people who don't read at all, and they are based on advice of others. They depend too much on figures and numbers and statistics. So we're talking about two completely different worlds that I don't know how they are connected. And we have Mrs. Anna Pataki from a huge publishing house, and I would like to listen to her how they managed to combine these two completely different worlds, the content and the figures, the numbers. Are there any other questions from the audience?
your country, female writers are free, are entitled to write about the same topics as male writers, or is there any difference in that?
That's an interesting one. Thank you.
I never heard of a female writer in my country that had a problem writing about anything. There is freedom, maybe it's more than other countries, thank God. But it never came to my attention that a female writer had a problem with something.
Thank you. Great. Thank you so much. Έχουμε άλλες ερωτήσεις? Ναι, συγγνώμη.
Are there any other questions? Yes, please. A microphone, please.
Taking into consideration that we need to create a new generation of readers in order for all publishers to really survive and make a change, because at the end of the day you need to make a profit if you want to have a business. I want to ask you if you have taken this into your thought, if you have any projects, any ongoing projects, anything that could focus on children readers, young readers, and also on creating places where you can freely just browse a book, I don't know, making spots, create spaces, and make a change, not only from up, but also coming from down, from the actual subject, which is the reader. Thank you.
Back to the topic of libraries then.
You want to say something?
No.
In Ghaf Publishing, we didn't publish for kids yet. We published only for adults. But the good news is that we're going to start publishing for kids. I'm a writer. I write for kids also. So I've noticed the importance. And many people come and ask about my books, the children books. Every book exhibition I go to, they're asking about books for children. In Ghaf bookstore, we have, because we are distributors also. But now we have we took the decision to start to publish for kids because of the importance of writing for kids. When you write the right book for kids, you establish a new, the new reader, you said, the future reader. And you get the chance to, I don't want to say raise them the way you want, but you produce what you want your kids to grow up with, what you want your kids to hear, what you want from the kids. I mean, when you write for kids, It makes them ask questions more, and they are more knowledgeable, and they are more strong to face what's coming for them in the future. So I really pay attention to this. And in Ghaf bookstore also, we created an area for the mother and the child to sit and read for her kids. And we ourselves as writers, we also do book reading. We invite mothers and their kids to come, and we read stories for kids because of its importance.
Great, thank you.
I only publish for adults, but it's a very huge responsibility to choose the content for kids, to what you are going to expose to the children. So, like, I salute whoever is publishing for children. We have a lot of publishers. Amira is starting now, and we have the Kalimat group who are focusing on children, and I think they are doing all an amazing job.
Great, thank you. Θέλετε κάτι να προσθέσετε? Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ.
Thank you so much.
What do your wish be to promote this kind of solidarity that Publisher has started talking about among women publishers all over the world? So what's your wish list? To create collaborations? Yeah. And promote this solidarity, yeah, between female publishers from around the world. Ναι, να ξεκινήσετε.
Νομίζω ότι
I think that first of all we should meet more and we should listen to each other more, listen to different viewpoints, listening to problems and challenges in different countries, and listen to our common points and similarities. And I am really willing to listen and learn about all these particularities of different cultures. Without collaborating, we cannot move forward. So any collaboration, any co-publishing, any discussion, new suggestions, new ideas, exchange of viewpoints, only this way will we be able to move forward, even to increase profit, okay? Not only to increase solidarity. So this is the key to success. No doubt.
Giving support to each other, giving each woman from different parts of the world to represent her culture. Yeah, I think this is my wish.
Great, thank you. Your last word, Fatma?
Yeah, I think having a women's community worldwide will support women, as Amira said, to represent their own culture, to learn about women, what they're going through, any hardship they're going through, because if we are not facing any problems, someone there is probably facing something, and we would love to know about this.
Yeah.
So it's about giving chances and opportunities.
That's a great point. Thank you all for taking part in this discussion. Thank you all for being here with us. Ευχαριστούμε και καλή συνέχεια.
Thank you very much.